Hey guys, welcome back to Living the MILF Experience. I'm your host, Baddie Bri. Tay, shout out to her for J&T Creations. And of course, I'm rocking one of her, I think it's a dad hat. It's super cute. I've been gone for a little bit and I feel bad about that because I was really excited to get this podcast going. And then I fell off a bit because I lost my MILF status for like 2 seconds, like I really did. I met someone and I fell back into old patterns and I let them, sucker me in, I guess. I don't know. So I'm back. I mean, I did a lot of self-work before and I feel like I almost ruined that. And, you cannot let yourself, you gotta keep your boundaries. And you have to remember that, loving yourself is the most important thing first. And no matter what, anybody does for you, your self-love is always gonna be there and be genuine. So, I was going to do my segment on emotional intelligence, but instead, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of these inspirational quotes that I always post. So on my regular Instagram, which is baddibri.xo, capital B for both. And so if you ever go onto my Instagram, you'll see I'm always posting these motivational things. Some of them are just things that resonate with me. Some things are things that are applicable at the moment, and then some things are just things that I think would be something that someone else needs to see. Starve the ego, feed the soul. These things inspire me, and I know for other people, especially if they're going through certain things, it's gonna inspire them too. But here's something. The best definition of love I've ever heard. Love is giving someone the power to destroy you and trusting they won't use it. So with that being said, how many of you have actually had real love? I feel like in every relationship that I've ever been in, I may have trusted them, but at one point or another, they did use it against me. And letting someone have that power over you is intense. It's not something that feels good, because after, what happens? So for instance, in my last little hiccup, I met this person, we connected a lot, we were very similar. But there were certain triggers, I think, for both of us. And we also both had, traumas that, we're all still healing from. It's always a work in progress. It's not something that just goes away. I think a really big one too that I've seen is just having baggage, right? We all have baggage. So someone once told me everyone comes into a relationship with baggage. You'll either trip over each other's bags or you'll unpack them together. So the key is really finding somebody that is gonna do that with you. So for instance, for me, this person was hey, let's go through this running building together. It was just instant connection, instant chemistry. And then one day it was just nope, done. And if it's real, you don't just turn it off like that. You unpack them together, right? And, that's something that, that hit me deep, because the right person will sit there with you and will go through those things with you. And they'll work through them with you. Now, I'm not saying, I'm perfect or anything like that. I have my own baggage, and I definitely could have handled things differently, but I was also scared, and so that's where, like, you know, having emotional intelligence and having that maturity and being able to really communicate with each other, and if someone's really feeling you, like, they're not gonna let you push them away. Like, that's what I did. I pushed them away, and he let me. Anyways, I think for me, like, reading a lot of different motivational things really helps me a lot. And, like, I'm being super candid, so, like, I feel like this segment is, like, not, like, at all organized, and I apologize, but you know, this is me, this is real, this is raw, this is me unfiltered, and you know, you have to think about, for me, the biggest thing was, like, the decision someone makes, like, do they think of the impact of what their decisions are, how that's going to impact you? Like, if somebody's not doing that for you, then, like, you need to step away already, because that's a level of empathy that someone needs to have in order to love someone else. And you can't really love someone else unless you fully love yourself, right? So that's another big thing. Like, people jump into relationships and they don't even love themselves. So, like, it's already a, like, lost cause. It's already failed from the beginning, because people, you know, they don't love themselves, and they can't give love to people because they have to love themselves first. You can't rely on other people for your happiness. It just doesn't work like that. Here's another one that really resonates with me right now, because, like, I feel like this is kind of what happened to me, but one doesn't have to operate with great malice to do great harm. Like, I had such a connection. It was just like, how can you, like, you feel it if you feel it. It's there if it's there. And how do you just turn it off? Like, you don't just turn it off if it's real. The absence of empathy and understanding are sufficient. So one doesn't have to operate with great malice to do great harm. The absence of empathy and understanding are sufficient. So basically, like, that just says it all right there. Like, they lack empathy, and, like, that's, like, the biggest thing for a narcissist. You know, somebody who can't empathize and put themselves in another person's feelings. And it's crazy, because that's part of emotional intelligence too. So, and I spent so long in an unhappy marriage dealing with somebody like that, and you know, it takes a toll on the other person, especially when you have a family involved, because then you're the one that's just doing everything, and nobody's taking into account for all the things that you're doing, and you just get worn out. And then what happens? You burn out, and you just lose steam, and you can't go on anymore. You end up breaking. Like, what can you do at that point? Yeah, I don't know. I can't do this. I gotta do, like, a organized segment. Maybe I'll use some stuff from this, but I don't know. I think I'm just gonna take a motivational quote and do something with it, but I can't do this.